By now, I think you know most of the news. It is a complete shutdown of college athletics, professional athletics as well. Coach Dan Canaveri, Happy Gilmore, Paul O'Neill, all here with me. In a couple seconds, we'll have Robert Munson, Senior Associate Athletics Director from LSU, join us. He is in Nashville to give us an update. Hunt Palmer is also in Nashville with the SEC basketball tournament has been canceled. Coach, this is something we've never seen before.
I mean, this is right up there with, 9/11, flooding and everything else. But there's no precedent, and it's so unknown what's going to happen in the long-term effects. And so everybody's taking super-duper precautions. But when it starts hitting sporting events, you really got something going here.
All right, we'll go to Nashville now. Robert Munson, again, Senior Associate Athletics Director at LSU, joins us. Robert, how you doing?
I'm doing well, Jacob. How are you guys doing?
Doing good. Just a surreal time right now, and it seems like the sports world is just standing still. I know you're there in Nashville. When you woke up this morning, I think we all assumed games would be played without crowds, and now we know it has officially been suspended. No SEC basketball tournament. I've got to just assume it's a little bit crazy there.
Yeah, I wouldn't say it's crazy. I mean, there's been some decisive action taken today and a lot of consideration. So there've been a lot of meetings, a lot of important discussions, but surreal is a great word for it. This is not what you expect when you come to an SEC men's basketball tournament, but it's what's in front of us and it's what's being dealt with, and I think it's being dealt with prudently.
So obviously not only the SEC basketball tournament, but all SEC sports will be shut down until April 1st?
Yeah, March 30th is that last date that things will kind of be evaluated. Obviously, it kind of goes without saying now, but this is an incredibly fluid situation. So as more information comes in, I am sure that information will be considered in the larger context. But as of right now, the policy will go through March 30th, and it applies to all sports.
So when you say all sports, is that all sports that are in season, or is that sports just in general? Because obviously the football team right now, they're in spring practice,
Yep.
but they're not in season. Does that affect that?
It applies only to competitions. So
Right.
Practices are still permitted, but they're being left really at the discretion of each program. And clearly there are going to be circumstances unique to each program that may determine whether or not that team practices. So as of right now, there's no impact on spring football. Of course, dates for most of the spring events are following that March 30 date, so we'll all be watching that very closely.
Robert, Dan Canterbury here. And, of course, we know how tough it is when you're dealing with the SEC and the schools and trying to come to a major decision like this in a short period of time. Do you think deep down inside it might have been a blessing in disguise that all this happened during the SEC tournament, because all the people that needed to be there are all at the tournament and you get in one room and discuss it?
Yeah, that's a great point, Dan. We're all in one building. We're all captivated by the same issue. It certainly helps to have this kind of coordination, not just with the ADs and athletic officials, but also university presidents and under Greg Sankey's leadership. It's hard to call any of this a blessing, but it's a good point. We're all here at the right time to talk about it together.
Has there been something scheduled, Robert, as far as when do we kind of reconvene, get back together, at least get on some conference calls when we get closer to that March 30th date to see where we stand?
Yeah, I don't think there's going to be a moment that goes by where we're not talking about this, honestly, Jacob. And certainly there will be some conference calls set up, possibly even some meetings along the way. But this is a situation that's changing hourly and daily, and so we'll all be in constant contact with each other. The university presidents, of course, are working on their side of things from a campus side. There are very, very serious issues there as well. So this is just going to be a continual conversation, and we're going to stay up to date and monitor it.
That was my next question, Robert. You guys are all in Nashville trying to get back home now, I'm sure. And when you do get back, I know there's been a lot of talk on campus here. Now we get our top officials from the athletic department back. There's going to be some major work done over the weekend on the LSU campus with the officials. Am I correct?
There's plenty of work to do, and I should say the coordination with campus has been spectacular through this entire event. It's been an unfortunate circumstance, but there's been really, really close coordination with those guys, with the administration on the campus level and with athletics. So we're all on the same page. We're all talking. We're all meeting. And yeah, Dan, there's a lot of work to do. There's a lot of unanswered questions right now and a lot of things to take care of.
Again, we're catching up with Robert Munson, Senior Associate Athletics Director over at LSU. Robert, this might be a question that's too far in the future, but the games that are going to be missed, let's just take LSU traveling to Ole Miss to take on the Rebels there for a baseball series. Is that something that is reasonable to be expected to make up? Is that something that you just kind of move past it because of the schedule? This isn't professional sports. This is collegiate sports. So you have academics and you have schedules that you have to stay with.
Yeah, listen, I don't have answers to those questions right now. They're all really important questions. And, we've got questions about scheduling and makeups and ticketing. And all of this is new ground for us. Unfortunately, at LSU, we do have some experience with having to reschedule games for unforeseen circumstances and acts of God, but this is a new one, and it's a new challenge, and it's a challenge we're all getting together, and we intend to meet it. But certainly there are a lot of questions like that right now we just don't have the answers for.
Robert, working in the athletic department, with Tiger Athletic Foundation, being around the athletic department, you're talking about challenges when you cancel baseball home games and you cancel softball home games and gymnastics meets with people with tickets, and now your campus has got the possibility of a shutdown where people are working from home and working off computers. It's I think our fans have to be very understanding and compassionate about the fact that you got to come up with a policy on how you're going to refund. Are you going to refund? Are you going to give credit? What are you going to do with tickets? And like Jacob's question, the rescheduling part, I don't think you can even delve into that until you've got the other issues figured out as to what's happened so far.
Yeah, and it works both ways, Dan. It's important for us to be patient and understanding with our fans. They love these student athletes in our sports as much and more than we do, and this is as important to our community as it is to us. So we are open ears right now, and yeah, there are certainly a lot of questions that we can't answer because this has moved so quickly, but we're going to answer them. We're going to be in contact with our ticket holders and let them know what options are going to be available to them. And yeah, we are going to ask for some patience and understanding there as well. But again, that's a two-way street. We've got to be willing to listen and be patient too, and we are.
Robert, I appreciate your time. I know everything's kind of moving fast there in Nashville, so I appreciate you carving out a couple of minutes for us.
No problem. I'm looking forward to being back home later today.